Modern Australia is famous for its deadly creatures, but its prehistoric version was an entirely different level of terrifying. From the bone-crushing quincana to the monstrous megalania, prehistoric Australia was a realm of nightmares. Around 50,000 years ago, the first humans stepped onto this untamed continent, likely unaware of the apex predators and colossal herbivores they'd soon encounter. This wasn't just survival of the fittest. It was survival in a world that seemed straight out of a horror story. Let's dive into the terrifying megafauna and predators that dominated prehistoric Australia and uncover how early humans navigated this land of giants. If you were unfortunate enough to find yourself in prehistoric Australia, the first thing you'd notice is the sheer size of everything around you. It was like nature decided to turn the scary dial to maximum. Towering over the landscape were creatures like megalania, a giant monitor lizard that could reach lengths of 23 feet in length and weighing over 1,300 pounds. This monitor lizard was the largest of its kind to ever walk the earth. Megalania wasn't just big, it was a master hunter. Its teeth were like serrated steak knives, designed to rip through flesh with ease. And if that wasn't terrifying enough, it's believed megalania was venomous. A single bite would inject a toxic cocktail into its prey, causing massive blood loss and preventing wounds from clotting. Imagine facing a creature that could outrun you, outbite you, and outlast you. Ancient humans and other animals didn't stand a chance. Archaeological evidence suggests that megalania hunted large prey like Diprotodon and may have even clashed with early Aboriginal Australians. Did humans hunt it to extinction, or was it climate change? Either way, megalania remains a haunting reminder of nature's raw power. Crocodiles are scary enough today, but prehistoric Australia had quincana, a crocodile that didn't need water to hunt. That's right, this was a land-dwelling crocodile, built for speed and power. Unlike its modern relatives, this croc was built for land dominance, with long legs that gave it an edge in speed, allowing it to sprint after its prey. Size and strength, measuring up to 20 feet in length and weighing 1,200 pounds, the quincana was a beast capable of taking down animals far larger than itself. Its razor-sharp, serrated teeth tore through flesh like butter, making it a predator even early humans couldn't hope to outrun. Hunting style. Unlike water-bound crocs, this predator roamed the land and was an ambush hunter. Imagine a 20-foot monster charging at you with terrifying speed, its blade-like teeth ready to rip into its next meal. A water escape wasn't always an option either. Evidence suggests it could swim, adding another layer of horror to its profile. If you have a fear of snakes, Wanambi neracortensis would have been your ultimate terror. This 6-meter-long serpent wasn't venomous, but that didn't make it any less deadly. Like modern pythons, it killed by constriction, wrapping its powerful body around its prey and squeezing until the victim's heart and brain were starved of blood. But here's the kicker. Wanambi's rigid jaw structure meant it couldn't swallow its prey whole. Instead, it used sharp teeth to rip chunks of flesh off, sometimes disemboweling its victims in the process. For early humans, a close encounter with Wanambi could very well have been their last. When it came to mammals, none were more terrifying than Thylacoleo carnifex, often called the marsupial lion. Despite being more closely related to koalas than lions, this apex predator was a force to be reckoned with. Thylacoleo boasted the strongest bite of any mammal, pound for pound. Its blade-like premolars were perfect for slicing through flesh, and its retractable claws added an extra layer of lethality. With powerful forelimbs and semi-opposable thumbs, it could climb trees to ambush prey or drag kills into secluded areas. One bite from this marsupial lion could sever a windpipe, crush a spinal cord, or slice through major arteries. In most cases, the victim wouldn't survive longer than a minute. Even the plant eaters in prehistoric Australia were anything but gentle giants. Take Diprotodon, for example, a relative of the modern wombat that weighed as much as an Asian elephant. While it was strictly vegetarian, Diprotodon's size and strength made it a formidable opponent. Its powerful jaws could exert enough force to crush bones, and it's easy to imagine early humans thinking twice before approaching such a massive creature. Australia's prehistoric land wasn't the only place filled with monsters. Offshore, the waters teemed with terrifying creatures, including megalodon, the largest shark ever to exist. Megalodon wasn't exclusive to Australia, but its presence in the ancient oceans made swimming a deadly gamble. This shark could grow up to 60 feet, 18 meters long, with teeth the size of a human hand. It preyed on whales, sea turtles, and anything else that dared enter its territory. While it ruled the oceans, its extinction around 3.6 million years ago is still a mystery. What made prehistoric Australia truly terrifying wasn't just the size or lethality of its creatures, it was the fact that so many of them shared the same environment. Early humans had to contend with razor-toothed lizards, sprinting land crocs, constricting snakes, and ambush predator marsupials, all while navigating a landscape that offered little in the way of safety. And if you thought the land was dangerous, the waters weren't any better. Prehistoric oceans surrounding Australia housed megalodons, giant marine reptiles, and other aquatic predators that could rival anything on land. Imagine walking through the prehistoric Australian bush, only to encounter a bird that made modern ostriches look like sparrows. Meet Geniornis newtoni, a towering flightless bird that belonged to the Dromornithidae family, often called thunderbirds. These ancient herbivores stretched up to 7 feet tall, 2 meters, and weighed nearly 500 pounds, 230 kilograms, making them formidable despite their plant-based diet. Unlike their carnivorous counterparts in other parts of the prehistoric world, these birds didn't hunt prey. Instead, their enormous size was their primary defense. With massive, clawed feet and a sharp beak capable of crushing tough vegetation and possibly scaring off predators, they were not easy targets. While they weren't hunters, their sheer size made them intimidating enough to deter smaller predators. Fossil evidence suggests that early humans likely hunted these birds for food, as burn marks on their eggshells indicate. However, facing a furious Geniornis defending its nest would have been anything but a walk in the park. Equally bizarre was Procoptodon galea, the giant short-faced kangaroo. Towering over modern kangaroos at nearly 10 feet tall, 3 meters, it had a peculiar flat face and robust limbs. Unlike today's kangaroos, it probably didn't hop, but walked on 2 legs, supported by its sturdy tail for balance. These megafauna were built to survive harsh climates, but the arrival of humans introduced new challenges, from hunting to habitat alteration. The first humans to step foot in prehistoric Australia around 50,000 years ago must have felt as though they'd entered a nightmare. Armed with rudimentary tools and fire, they faced a gauntlet of reptilian, avian, and marsupial challenges. Humans quickly adapted, learning to use the landscape to their advantage. Fire stick farming, burning vegetation to encourage new growth, helped them manage the environment and attract game. However, their presence was also devastating to the megafauna. Within a few thousand years of their arrival, many of these massive creatures disappeared. Prehistoric Australia was a land where nature seemed to push the limits of imagination. From monstrous land crocodiles and venomous monitor lizards to elephant-sized wombats and thunderbirds, every corner of this ancient world brimmed with danger and awe. Today, the remnants of this era can still be seen in the fossils scattered across Australia's outback and in the modern descendants of these prehistoric giants. The kangaroos bounding through the bush, the saltwater crocodiles lurking in rivers, and even the venomous snakes slithering through the undergrowth are echoes of a time when the continent was a true land of nightmares. It's a humbling reminder of nature's power and resilience, and of humanity's ability to adapt and endure even in the most extreme circumstances.